It's your boy D-Rich back at it once again, and as you can see, I'm in my top-notch secret low-key location once again, so you already know the video is going to be fire. So what you need to do is subscribe. I got Paul George behind me, LeBron James behind me, Yeezy Boost boxes to the right of me, and I also have the sun shining very bright on me today. It's a very nice day outside in Akron. It's about 55 degrees, which is better than what it's been. But I decided to make this video because people have been asking me the same question for the past 2 to 3 weeks. And I don't know why it's been the past 2 to 3 weeks why people are asking me this, but they've been asking me, who is the better class, 2021 or 2022? And they've also been asking me who would win in a game of the class of 2021 versus the class of 2022. So I decided to pick my starting five from each class, my starting five from 2021 and 2022. And it was kind of hard for me to pick by position because there's so many good players in each class. I decided to pick 5 players that I know are savages, 5 players that I've seen play and I know have a future in this sport at the pro level. Let's be honest. I think that each player that I pick in this 5 will be a pro in the class of 2021 and the class of 2022. Every player that's in my starting 5 is for sure a pro because I've seen them play. Okay, so if your name is not called in this video, you probably are a savage, but I can only pick 5. Okay, I can only pick 5. I also might name a few reserves for each class, 2 to 3 reserves that I would put on my roster if I had to pick more than 5. But I'm about to give you my 5 players from each class, and I'm going to tell you who I think would win in the class of 2021 versus the class of 2022. So I decided to name my starting 5 in the class of 2022 first, and I'm going to name the class of 2021 last. Since they're a little bit older, I'll give them that honor and name them last. Now, for point guard, in my starting 5 for the class of 2022, I decided to go with Amari Bailey. Amari Bailey is slept on. He's still nationally known, but he's slept on. It's weird. It's like when I say Amari Bailey to certain people, too many people don't know about him. But if you guys don't know about him, you will real soon. He's committed to UCLA. He's from Chicago. He has the grittiness. He goes to Sierra Canyon High School. They had a phenomenal year. He came off the bench, but Sierra Canyon has like all Division I players. So next year, he will get the torch passed to him, and he'll have that experience. Now, he's a lefty, but he can also finish you with the right. He's 6'4", which is a phenomenal height for a point guard already. He has the dribble. He has the shot. There's not too many things that he can't do. And what I like about him is he's smart on the basketball floor, and I know he's not going to turn the ball over on me. So I'm going to go with Amari Bailey at the point guard. For the shooting guard, I'm going to take Chris Livingston, who is from my hometown, Akron, Ohio. Just took my alma mater to the state championship for the first time in 22 years, the Booked Griffins. Chris is very, very athletic. I believe that if he ran track, he could be a 400-meter yard dash state champion. He played football. He would be a 5-star football receiver, but he just so happened to choose basketball, where he's going to be a 5-star shooting guard. Okay, Chris can defend anyone from the 1, 2, 3. Anyone from 1 to 3, he can defend. He can get me tough baskets. He can flash the hoop. He can take you off the dribble and pull up for the 3. So I'm going to go with Chris Livingston at my 2 guard. For the small forward, for the 3, I'm going to go with Imani Bates out of Ypsilanti, Michigan. I hope I'm saying it right. I always get it wrong, and they be on my ass. Ypsilanti, Michigan. Okay, he took them to a state title this year for the first time in school history, and everybody knows how I feel about Imani Bates. I feel like Imani Bates will be the #1 pick in the 2022 draft. Straight out of high school, if they change the rule. If not, he'll be the number 1 pick in the 2023 draft. Okay, he's like a baby KD, and that's all I need to say. Now, for my 4, for the power forward, and this was, kind of hard for me because this player can play the 3 also. I really believe that he's a 3, but he's such a physical specimen that right now I'm going to put him at the 4. Jayden Walker went to IMG. He's from the Maryland area, I believe Pennsylvania. He's from PA, but he played for a Baltimore, Maryland program in Team Thrill, and he was dominant. He's been dominant since like the 4th or 5th grade, and now he's dominating at the high school level. Played for IMG. He was in the same predicament as Amari Bailey. Went to a very, very well-known high school. Came off the bench, but it was all 5 stars damn near on his team playing ahead of him. So next year, he will have the torch passed to him, and he'll have that experience. And I'm going to put him at my 4. If you don't know about Jayden Walker, he slept on to. Look up the highlights. He's a man-child. For my 5, I'm going to go with Jalen Durant. Okay, now Jalen is a player that I saw play at CP3. He's about 6'10", and he's a beast. He's blocking everything, and he's dunking everything. Okay, that's somebody that I need in the paint to block whoever come, like Mutombo. Okay, and I like Jalen because he's very athletic, and he's still progressing, and he's still growing, and he's already damn near about 7 foot. So that's my starting 5. Amari Bailey, Chris Livingston, Imani Bates, Jayden Walker, and Jalen Durant. Okay, and if you don't know about Jalen Durant, type it in on Google. Okay, he's a monster. For the class of 2021, at my point guard, I'm going to have a player that has been dominating since he was 2 years old, probably. I'm going to name a player who was the number 1 player in the class all the way up until last year. And I still think he's the best point guard in the class because, to me, he's been doing it too long. And whoever stepped up to the plate since he was a little tiny tot, he's come out with the win. And that player is Zion Harmon. Okay, I know everybody knows Zion Harmon from what's happening this year in Kentucky with him being ruled ineligible. But let me tell you something. He may not be playing right now, but when he gets back on the court, when the EYBL begins, he will show you why I believe he's the top point guard in the class. He can score it. He can shoot it with ease. He can finish amongst the trees. He's only about 5'10", but he plays like he's about 6'2", 6'3", and he's a player that's calm, very calm. He's not going to get rattled under pressure, and he's going to get buckets. That's one thing that he's going to do. So I'm going to take Zion Harmon at my point guard position. At my 2 guard, I'm going to have Jayden Hardy. Jayden Hardy is a 5-star shooting guard, and rightfully so, because he was slept on until last year. I first saw Jayden Hardy at the D-Rich TV camp in Akron, Ohio. He hit me up and said he was coming. He showed up, and he was one of those people who knew he should be getting more notoriety than he was getting, and he came to my camp, dominated for 2 years straight. He goes to school in Las Vegas, and he's a 5-star prospect, and he can score, he can score, he can score. In today's age, he's like James Harden. He can score, he can score, he can score. That's all I gotta say. At my 3, at my small forward, this player could also play the 2, but I'm gonna put him at the 3 because I don't think he would mind. Terrence Clark. Terrence Clark, in my opinion, right now is definitely a top 2 player in that class. I believe he's number 1 in that class, but they have him ranked 3, 2, 1. I think he's number 1. Terrence Clark is a monster. Okay, he was slept on too, and a lot of you may have things to say about Terrence Clark. Well, let me tell you, you can shut up. Anything negative you guys say about Terrence Clark, you can shut up because I seen him play in the Boys a Bucket, and he'll be in the league one day. Okay, he broke onto the scene at the middle school hoops basketball camp. He also came to the D-Rich TV camp, and he was the MVP of the CP3 Rising Stars basketball camp that summer. and that propelled him into being one of the nation's most sought after prospects. He goes to Brewster Academy, and they had a very dominant year also, and the future is very bright for Mr. Terrence Clark. At my 5, no, matter of fact, this is the 4. At my power forward, I'm going to go Jonathan Kuminga. He's a dog. First saw him at the middle school hoops. Basketball camp. What school do Jonathan go to? Okay. Our Savior New American, somewhere in New York. I don't know that school. It's so many prep schools and stuff I haven't heard of now. Our Savior New American. Well, anyway, Jonathan, a lot of people believe is the #1 player in the class. He's a dog. That's all I need to say. At my 5, this was pretty hard because I didn't really know too many 5s. So I just went with JT Thor from Huntington Prep. I saw him play in a tournament this year, and he was a dog. They really got him marked as a power forward. He's about 6'9". Who knows? He can grow to be 7 foot. So I'm going to put him at the center. Okay, I'm going to put JT Thor at the center. This 5 versus the 2022 starting 5. Who do you guys think would win? Okay, Amari Bailey, Chris Livingston, Imani Bates, Jarius Walker, Jalen Duran for the 2022. Zion Harmon, Jayden Hardy, Terrence Clark, Jonathan Kuminga, and JT Thor as the starting 5 in the 2021. Who do you guys think will win that matchup? I'm going to give you 10 seconds to comment who you think will win in that matchup. So now that you have had 10 seconds to think, I've been doing some thinking also on who I believe would win in this matchup. And before I say this, all 10 of these players will be pro. They all have a chance at the pros if they stay on track, as far as staying focused, not hanging around the wrong people. If they have no injuries, all 10 of these players will be in the NBA someday, or at least they should be. So with that being said, I believe that the class of 2022 will win this matchup. I just believe with the trio of Imani Bates, Chris Livingston, and Amari Bailey, with the physical dominance of Jarius Walker and Jalen Duran, I think that the class of 2022 would win this matchup. I won't say easily, but I believe that they will win it in a fashion that will let you know that the class of 2022 will go down as one of the best basketball classes in history. Okay? That's not a knock against the class of 2021. I just believe that the class of 2022 is that dominant. I'm not going to name any reserves. I know it's a lot of players that I left off the list that could have made this starting 5. It's a lot of players that could have made this starting 5 in 2021 and 2022. That's my starting 5 in each class because I've seen these players play and I know that they can ball. And I know it's going to be a very exciting matchup. And I don't need to add any reserves because this matchup right here is already crazy. And I'm probably in enough trouble for leaving people off the starting 5 list. So you can only imagine what would happen if I leave people off the reserve list. They'll be on my ass. Thank you guys for watching this. If you have any video ideas, be sure to DM me or tweet me at DRichTV. Add me on Snapchat at DRichTV. Comment what you would like to see me talk about up under this video, and I'll see if I can make it happen. I'm about to enjoy some of this sunshine, maybe go to Lane Field, which is in the middle of the trenches in Akron, Ohio, and get a good, nice workout in on this sunny day in Akron, Ohio. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time.